Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to today's lesson. What we're looking at today is regular polygons. Okay, so regular polys. Right, regular polys. So, regular polygons, I feel like I should make a joke about regular, but I'm not going to. Okay. Regular polys are when all the sides and all the angles are equal. Okay, so for example, a square is a regular polygon. The one that I've drawn in the notes, e.g., is a regular pentagon. 1, 2, oh, that's not regular. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, that's about as regular as I can make it freehand. Now, regular means that all 5 sides are equal. That's the first thing. The second thing about regular angles is that regular polygons is that all the angles are equal as well. That means that each of these angles is the same size, which then allows me to work out one of the angles without knowing anything more than the fact that it's a regular pentagon. Okay, I don't need to know the size of the sides or the size of any other angles. Okay, as long as I say it's a regular. So, let's take a look at this. From the previous video, we know how to work out the sum of the internal angles of a pentagon. So the sum of the internal angles equals 180 times my number of sides, 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2 is 3, 180 times 3 is 540, 540. Alright, so that's the sum of the internal angles. So all of these angles added together, all of these added together gives me 540 degrees. Okay, so if it's regular, each of these have to be the same size. So all I need to do is take 540 and divide it by the number of sides, or the number of angles. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles. So to work out the internal angle, all I need to do is 540 divided by 5, which gives me 108 degrees. Yeah, that's it. So this angle here is 108, but then so is that, so is that, so is that, and so is that. Alright, so because it's regular, I can do that. Now the one other thing that I haven't included in the notes, but there's another way to actually think about this. If I had to extend this line, alright, I would have now the external angle there. Now we know that the external angle of any polygon is 360 degrees. So the whole way around is 360. So to work out this external angle, all I need to do is do 360 divided by the number of sides, in this case 5. Okay, so 360 divided by 5 is 72 degrees. Right? So this external angle there is 72 degrees. Right. Now that I've got the external, I could then find the internal of 108 by doing 180 minus 72 degrees. Okay, so you can go using either this way to find internals or this way to find externals. You could find both of them. Alright, so if I found the internal here, I could do 180 minus 108 gives me 72. Or if I did the external here, I could do 180 minus 72 gives me 108. Okay, both of them pop out. Alright, when you have regular. So let's look at the way that they could ask this, because that's pretty straightforward, saying I know the number of sides, and I can find the internal and also external because I know the number of sides. So let's look at a different type of question. The one that I've got there. So the one that I've got there, as I said, how many sides does a regular polygon has an interior angle of 135 degrees, how many sides does it have? So I'm just going to draw the picture, because this spiel is there. 135 degrees, okay? And they say how many sides it has. Now, I could set this up. I haven't done it on the notes, but you could do 135 equals 180 times by the number of sides minus 2 divided by the number of sides, and you could solve for n, okay? Times up by n, multiply out, you end up with a linear equation, very straightforward to solve, okay? So this is the total number of sides divided by the number of sides gives you the individual, right? That's the long spiel. You're welcome to do that if you're not comfortable. I'm going to show you an easier way to do it. Well, I think it's like an easier way. I know that on the way around, I've got to do 360. The external angles have to add up to 360. So that means that this one here, I can work out that one and then do 180 minus that answer to get the internal. Okay, well, let's do the external, right? So the external has to add up to 360, so I can go 360 divided by the external will give me my number of sides. So firstly, I have to work out what this external is. So 180 minus 135 gives me 45 degrees. So that's my external angle there, 45 degrees. So if I do 360 divided by 45 degrees, because it's regular, that's important, because it's regular, I can work out the number of sides. How many 45s are in 360? I get 8 45s. So this is actually the bottom corner of an octagon. Okay, it carries on up there, up there, up there, up there, up there, off the page. Alright, so there's the bottom corner of the octagon. And that note that I've got there is to work out the number of sides, I do 360 divided by the external. Now you can swap that around as well. To work out the external, I can do 360 divided by the number of sides. Right? That's what I did on the previous page. Okay. Alrighty, that's the first question. Piece of cake, how many sides does this thing have? 360 divided by the external, boom. And I got the external by doing 180 minus the internal. Okay. So let's look at a different type of question. They said their regular polygon has 12 sides. So this is the second e.g. It's got 12 sides. Alright? And it says, what's the size of the external angle? So question A, what's the size of the external angle? Well, I can use this idea as well. 360 divided by the number of sides, because it's regular, gives me my external angle, and 360 divided by 12 is 30 degrees. So that's the size of the external angle. So if I drew the picture, if I say, okay, well, here's the one corner, I don't know how big it is, and it carries on yada 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 all the way around, da 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 da, like that, 12 sides. Well, this inside here, the external angle here, this is 30 degrees. Right. So once I've got the external, well, it's easy to get the internal, because then all I have to do is I have to take 180 and minus the external from that. So that'll give me our internal. So question B, they say, well, what's the size of the internal angle? Well, I can do 180 minus 30 degrees gives me 150 degrees. That's the size of the internal, 150. You could also absolutely do 180 times by the number of sides, 12, minus 2, divided by the number of sides, 12. You do this, press this in your calculator, you should get 150 as well. Righty, okay. So that's pretty straightforward. I think it's very important that you're able to go from internal to external, external to internal, and you can choose your preference of whether you want to work out the external always to get the internals, or work out the internals always to get the externals. It doesn't really make a big difference, okay? As long as you understand the connection between the two, and as long as you understand that this idea works when it's regular. If it's not regular, I can't just do this. Right. Please don't be tempted. If it's not regular, meaning if the sides aren't equal, the angles aren't all equal, that's not going to work. Alright. Okay, go check this out again. Go practice a couple on your own. And remember, I'm here for you. Okay.